To begin my wig creation, I started by marking out where I wanted the bangs to be. I started with white because I knew I would have to dye the red later because it was too much of a orangey red and I wanted it to be darker. I made this makeshift crochet hook out of wire and a dowel I found in my basement. Now, it's not the best wig making thing, but it fits great into the holes because I could control how big the crochet hook was, and it worked fine, so I didn't really mind it. So before I continue on to the red part of the wig, I was kind of happy and unpleased with the color of red, so I need to dye it. So I looked up like ways to dye synthetic hair on YouTube, and apparently you can dye it with like clothing dye, so that's what I'm gonna do. I bought this scarlet red dye from Walmart. I'm gonna be using that to dye the synthetic hair. Now I was originally just gonna dye like the whole thing that color of red, but then I realized that this red kind of looks similar to the orange red used for the Mad Hatter's wig. So I was like, maybe I should like save some if I by chance ever make a Mad Hatter costume. Oh wow, I did not think this through. Okay. Let me just. Oh. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh. Maybe separating hair would be this hard. Did you see that? It's so bad. Wow. It's like magic. I actually like burnt the ends. I think they hit the bottom of the pot and like they got fried. Yeah, let me try this again. You know, I probably should have actually watched the videos on how to dye synthetic hair. I just sort of looked at the thumbnails and saw that they were using dye, so I was like, okay, that must be how you do it. You just put them in dye, but maybe there's actually like ways to do this. I don't know. Like, do you think that the colors changed at all? And well, what do you know? So I actually watched the video that I just looked at the thumbnail for and realized that the dye was a specialized red dye and it had to say synthetic in order for it to work. You have to get synthetic red dye or it's not going to work. And I didn't watch it, so I didn't know that. So I bought the dye and it didn't work. So what I did was I went to Dollar Tree, I bought some brown dye and added it to the red dye to maybe see if I could change the color just a little bit because it was like an orangey red to a darker red and I really didn't want to go out to try and buy synthetic red dye. As you can see, it didn't work at all. It is still pretty much the exact same color. Okay, so definitely seeing a difference in color. This is the after the first red dye, and this is after I added brown to the water. Definitely seeing a huge difference in the color, and it seems to have gone through the entire hair. There's like these little blotchy spots, but that's about it. I honestly cannot believe that worked. It took me about 2 days to finish the entire front, the bangs of the wig. Mostly because I was just trying to get the hang of it, but yeah, I think the bangs turned out really well. It was also really satisfying to brush through it, so that's why I did it so much. So after I finished the bangs, I moved on to making tracks for the wig to cover my sideburns because I have pretty long sideburns and I could never wear a wig without having the hair come down like that. So to make the tracks, I made like a makeshift track maker, which is basically a long dowel that I cut. I made a slit in the two sides of the dowel and slipped some string into it, tying the string down into the dowel. I'm gonna take this piece right here and put it through this little divot that I've made, as you can see right here. And I'm gonna wrap it twice and put it behind and over into the divot once more. And then I'm going to take it to the other side and do the same thing. Wrap it once, twice, and then from behind put it in between that right there, and voila. By the way, guys, I also added 2 long strands of hair right next to the bangs, which shall like appear in the final product. I actually had planned to cut them off, but they looked really good, so I left them on. I think what was really, really important during this process was marking where everything was going to be. You know, since this is my first wig and I have 2 different colors, I should really try to organize everything. So that worked out pretty well. Oh yeah, by the way, I was watching Gordon Ramsay while doing this project. Who doesn't watch Gordon Ramsay while they're doing, you know, an artistic project? This is pretty time consuming actually. I'm like halfway like through the whole thing and it's taken me like an hour or like somewhere close to that. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sewing this like horizontally onto this mesh part right here, as you can see. By the way, my light blew again. Like, I literally just fixed it like a few days ago and it's blown again. So I'm just gonna take it as a signal from the universe that it wants me to stop using excessive amounts of electricity and contribute to, I don't know, some sort of environmental initiative or something. No, I know I'm like kind of annoyed that my light's not working, but to be honest, I can kind of survive with like, with just like light from outside. I never realized that I could just move my curtains and I'd have light. Oh, and by the way, I actually did have to re-dye the hair because it was a bit blotchy after the first dye, so I separated it into more parts and dyed it again. It came out better this time, and I didn't need to dye it again, but I did need to dye the hair that was already attached to the wig, and that was a process. I'm really worried about this part because I absolutely cannot get this red dye anywhere near this white hair that I've already crocheted on. I didn't realize the difference in color until now, and I've already like spent my whole night, like I swear to God, 4 hours just putting in this, and I can't like take it out now. So I'm just gonna have to try and dye this without getting it on the white. Oh, guys. Oh my god, doesn't it look like one of those like cool like motorcycle shots? Why do I find this so entertaining? It's like not even that cool, but hashtag do not dye your hair at home. Oh my god, those like burning, like, remember when I burnt the ends of the hair? Like, that could happen to your hair and you'd have to like cut it off. That's so sad. Okay, so currently I am doing the part here at the middle of the head. I just wanted to let you see close up exactly what I'm doing. The needle or crochet, whatever tool you're using, should always be pointed in the direction that you want the hair to go. Follow this way, so I'm putting it like this. So this is just the start, and hook the hair in the direction that you want the hair to go, of course. Pull it through. Take the little loop in my hand, detach the hook, and then pull the rest of the hair through the little loop I made. As I pull it somewhat tight, I dab a little bit of the glue on the strand of hair, and then I pull it. Oh my god, guys, my goose feathers came. Look at them. They're so pretty. Oh, these are so gorgeous. All this is just sort of going to come over the hair I crochet in as well. And I'm going to tie it into a ponytail. Okay, change of plan. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be combing out the yarn fibers and sort of making them hair-like so that I can fill the rest of the space with something that's not going to take up as much space, but it's also going to be like voluminous enough to cover the white mesh. Maybe I should use Chip's fur. How about that? I don't know. I'm going to be using my dog's cat brush, which is kind of an oxymoron thing. Like, I have my own cat brush that I bought, but mine sucks. So, just going to be using... Sorry, Chip, I'm not brushing you. I just need your brush. So, no, Chip, I'm not brushing you. Sorry. I just need to steal this. Can I take this? No, I can't brush you, sorry. I can't. I need to use it for something. I promise I'll brush you after I'm done brushing on all of the fur. Like, in the yarn. And they say she's so lucky. Because I had dyed the hair so much, it became very hard and itchy. So I decided to give it a fabric softener and conditioner treatment, except I lost the conditioner when I was getting ready to do it, so I just gave it a fabric softener treatment. So I did the part along the top of the head with the white, and now I'm going to do the red. You want to know something? You want to know something? There is not one hair of you that I would rearrange. I love you the way you are, and that will never change. That will never change. You're supposed to woof. That's my boy. Before I move on to the back of the head, I am going to do the yarn thing on this side, but I'm going to dye the yarn. I finished the yarn on both sides and moved on to the back. Now for the back, I drew these markings. These were where the tracks were going to be. I also measured each track on the head to make sure I made the correct length of tracks for each track placement. I pinned all the hair in place. I kind of gave the wig a mullet. I don't know if I can zoom out, which is kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of funny. But I'm going to curl the hair so it doesn't look like this. I am going to mark the few places where the mesh is poking out, and I'm going to like sew in a few like pieces of hair. Nope, I lied. I didn't actually end up doing that. What I ended up doing to solve the problem is just taking out a permanent red marker and coloring in the mesh. Who solves a problem with logic when you can just solve it in an easier way? okay, Chip? She's coming back. Okay, so I went ahead and tried on the wig. Looks super cool. I think. Love it. I have to cut the bangs now though. And I've kind of been like holding off on this because I know I had to finish the whole wig before I like cut the bangs. And I'm really happy I did. Whenever I see all those bang cutting fails on YouTube, the girls always go like too high and then they have to like cover it with the longer hair that they have. It's so funny. But this won't grow back, so I need to do it perfectly or else I'm screwed. Oh, I started recording. I don't want to. Oh, look at that Cornelius shed. Look at that. It's his little skin. Okay, I'm about to do this. This moment of truth. I hope to God I don't mess this up. This is so scary. Okay. I hope to God I don't. Okay, I started. Okay. I hope to God I don't cut my eyelashes or something. Even okay. Okay, thank God I brought it all the way down because okay. Oh, this is kind of like Sia like. I like it. Look at this. You know that wig that Sia always wears?